Welcome to another round of 16 series from the Wisdom of Thoth tournament. This, in the blue color, is Nullus, playing as Hades. And on the other side, his opponent, Kvoth, also playing as Hades. Now, Nullus has been one of those guys that is absolutely definitely a top player, no doubt about it. Won a bunch of tournaments here and there. Most recently, he won Boyd's competitive mega random tournament, if I remember that correctly. I think that's what it was. And as for Kvoth, he's kind of a little bit newer to the scene in the sense that he didn't really do as many tournaments before, and now he is, and doing a pretty meaningful job of it too. Nullus is a tough opponent, however, to go up against here. And I also just want to say thank you to Sir Slavin for that subscription that just came through. Thanks very much. And also big shout out to our website subscribers who are helping us keep the project going. And recently, actually, there was a donation to the upcoming AOM Pro League prize pool by Megiri. Let me see if I can trigger that. I think our tool for that isn't working right now. But yeah, it was a $50 donation by Megiri, so huge shout out for that as well. Won't be able to pop it up on the screen now, but appreciate it nonetheless all the same. So already $50 to the next league. It's gonna be great to see. Alright, our house is gonna be used as part of a wall, and Hades mirrors, well, I would say they're typically supposed to lean towards a second TC grab, as long as the second gold mine can be secured reasonably, which I think in this map is potentially doable. This TC kind of secures this gold mine. If not, then we could see some 1 TC Athena gold starve attempts. Could be possible. I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of this storehouse placement, as you'll be able to only place a handful of villagers without efficiency reductions in there. This is better. Put it on the longer side of the gold mine. It's fairly simple. You certainly have the time in the archaic age, right? Now, Tropical Mirage, lots of hunt. Zebra on top of giraffes, so this couldn't be any better for Kvoth there. We got the Dwarven Calipers as a relic as well. And the Eye of Ornlu on the other side. Dwarven Calipers being one of those relics that reduce cost for siege. And this one, Eye of Ornlu, is extra damage for Hippospis in this matchup. Not gonna suspect we're gonna see a lot of Hippospis, but it's there nonetheless, should it be necessary. Hoplites as Hades is, it's just one of those units that aren't that meaningful. They're slow. The non-Zeus Hoplites are just 4.2 speed. It's kind of meh. They're tanky boys, but you got Hades Toxotes and they're gonna snipe them very easily. So usually it's a Toxotes and Hippicon kind of army that we're gonna be looking for. And I suspect we're actually gonna see that 2TC strat, especially with that many miners. Maybe Kvoth is not doing it though. He's only got, okay, he's got 5. Okay, that's enough for a TC. Yeah, so we should be seeing that then. Where's the elephants? Trying to find them now. Oh, there's one. Just the one. They sometimes spawn in pairs, not this time. Can't see the other one. That's weird. Oh well. That's just hyenas. I think we only got hunting dogs then. So we're gonna afford that TC after all. Ajax is not out for either player, I think. Nullus gonna make both heroes and moving forward with 4 villagers to, I assume, to take the TC. No, he's taking the hunters that already pre-existed, and I assume they'll come back to this location. He likes the wood, man. Oh no, that's a long time. But as for Kvoth, he didn't move the villagers in time, and he's also got the delay between advancing and actually placing the TC, so this is going to be a pretty peaceful 2TC v 2TC situation where nobody will be able to attack too much. In fact, that Minotaur might get run down because the Ajax is actually faster, not to mention the Chiron, but they're gonna have to stick around here to push away that other Ajax. You don't want to give freedom to those villagers, right? Want them picked off. Scott adding in a little bit of extra DPS, and Kvoth taking a lot of damage on his way out. Some kind of unnecessary pokes here and there. So 2 TCs for both players. This is gonna be peaceful for a while. And soon after, when the villagers are finally gathering and have kicked in the economy. Ah, no 4th Sentinel. The forest is in the way, and I think it's gonna be the case for Nullus as well, actually. So you might want to use it at home, where a 4th Sentinel should spawn. But people typically want to secure their front TC with this, so there's that. Oh, he gets luckier. Look at that, the 4th Sentinel just about in the right place. This is a wet noodle contest, if anything. Ah, the Minotaur actually gets killed. That's Nullus's. And I don't know where Kvoth's Minotaur is. I think it might have died as well while we were looking at TCs. Whoops. Ajax is getting pretty low. This is a good place to hide, but yeah, it's gonna be stable and archery rangers, I'm pretty sure. Might go all the way to the heroic age without any significant aggression, but that is unlikely. Both have restoration available. The gold mine's not terribly secure. Oftentimes, it's also the case that the 3rd town center will be picked up in these Greek mirrors, but wouldn't be expecting it really. The siege relic is picked up. I'll make for some cheap helpfuls when the time comes. Very rarely you see a Petrobolos pushing these Greek mirrors, but it's really gone out of style over the years. Do think they're good units, but it is expensive to set up in the heroic age, to be fair. You have to get walling, have to get the fortress nearby, maybe even some towers. Not cheap. Lots of Erebus coming through for Kvoth. He's also going for hand axe. Got a good amount of wood villagers, so might as well. That's still a lot of gold villagers that he's got. But it makes sense considering that he's gonna go for Cav. Don't see an archery range yet for him. Oh, there it is, sorry. Just already forgot, I got the memory of a goldfish. As for Nullus, he's going for a faster heroic. But he's currently using up all his resources, making villagers and cavalry. A lot of the villagers just running around. But pushing off Kvoth's hunters is actually a really nice move there. That's a lot of Toxotes though. I don't think that Nullus can handle this right now. What he should do is pull back, go heroic, come back with Curse, and stomp these villagers and Toxotes like that. It's not like the Sentinel can be pushed off here. There's even one to protect the wood line. They definitely think that's the way forward. But Nullus is using more and more resources up. So even though he has the gold and he had the food, he's buying like medium cavalry and medium archers, more cav, more stables. So until he maxes out, there's absolutely no hope of getting close to heroic. Hasn't yet taken the side giraffes. I don't think he found the elephant either. Just taking a look at his point of view. He actually is not aware of it at all. That's awkward. If he did know about it, that would be nice for him. Now, medium cavalry is gonna make these a lot stronger. Certainly a problem for Toxotes. And Nullus is approaching that 100 population mark. Missing 3 houses right now. So those should be made. One of them is done. And he's making the others as well. Armory getting put down. Because like I said, as he's maxed out, all his resources just go into the bank, not into the units. He just spent all his resources. What happened? I guess he's making a town center. Oh, the Hippicon are getting caught. Two very nice kills for Kvoth. He's got the other relic as well. Not very meaningful in this matchup, as I said, but it's there nonetheless. Scout poking a villager, but getting shooed away. Not that it matters much. Might be able to find another free Hippicon kill here. But Nullus is looking this time. So the Toxotes would have been the better target, but no worries. It's a small thing anyway. Not sure what Kvoth just researched. Let's check his villagers. He's got pickaxe and hand axe. Same for Nullus. Very mirror matchup, as you might expect from this. Finally finds the elephant, so these hunters will have a job after the giraffes are gone. It's always nice to have a little bit of job security like that. I think this is a bigger army than that. By a little bit. Some extra Hippicons in there. So these numbers are similar, however. But if they get caught off, restoration is available there. That would be a big deal. Aphrodite has been kicked in by Kvoth first, which is usually what happens when you don't go for a third early town center. Now, Nullus filled in that extra 15 population pretty quick. But yeah, Kvoth will have first click on Curse, which should help him win the next fight. Again, he doesn't have medium cavalry here. Those villagers are some really nice pickoffs, and it will take Nullus some time until he can repopulate this. Find some good villager kills himself, however, so he can very quickly equalize the numbers. He's currently 71 to 68. And the units on the way out will suffer as well. Wow, already killing 4 Toxotes or so. Plus the Ajax, which is not nothing. Curse is gonna be used on this. What? Where did he use Curse? Ah, on the Cav. That's not that effective. You could use it on Toxotes and get a lot more out of it. The best use is if you hit villagers and Toxotes at the same time. Well, now guess what? Nullus is gonna do it next. And he's gonna find a target like that. In fact, Kvoth is only on that gold mine. Restoration and Curse are both available for Nullus, so he can start taking control of the situation. And all he needs is these 2 gold mines controlled. He's got 1 hero at least for the lion. Oh, there's Ajax as well, sorry. Both of them are here. Hephaestus has been clicked in by Kvoth. It's a little ambitious, and all of the Toxotes just got turned into pigs. That's an issue. Now Toxotes can start controlling the gold mines. Chiron will protect him against the lion for sure. And Nullus can have a slightly delayed mythic, probably with Earthquake, to be honest, considering that he's up in the town center count 3 to 2. If he really wants to, he can go up to 4 town centers while he's advancing. Heavy Archers is now done. Market's coming up. And Hephaestus isn't exactly the kind of mythic god that gives you an immediate power spike. He makes you work for it a little bit. Whereas Earthquake is super instantaneous. And then the Chimera follows up super quick as well. Can be sure devastating. So they should be able to handle themselves and take down that Nemean lion. I mean, they're heavy. They got a decent amount of DPS there. Good numbers as well. Kvoth. The sneaking ninja. Gold miners. Oh my god. Nullus is just super well set up. Good usage of the walls. warding off that extra town center, which he can later grab himself. And I mean, he's not mythic, but he's not going for it either. Heavy cavalry? What? Well, Kvoth is going for Forge of Olympus now. So if he's allowed to live a little bit longer, he can suddenly get out a really strong army there. But it's gonna take a few minutes to really catch up. Hiding under the town center fire would be great. And maybe meanwhile this Colossus can get something done. Fortress getting made here. This heavy Hippicon right here, man. This is risky. Might work out though. The Hippicon find the gold mine. That's gonna kill a bunch of villagers at least. They don't have much hack armor, but they sure have a lot of health. There's also a ton of kitchen knives, however. And there comes a real threat. Toxotes and Shades. Not so easy to kitchen knife those. Shades have 20% armor at least. The heroes are saved. That should take care of the Colossus, no problem. Nullus also doing a really good job of building the extra buildings in case of Artemis. Well, it's not Artemis, but nonetheless, it's good preparation for it, just in case. The main would have been open to it, and same with the second TC. Now that the elephant is gone, a farm transition has to be underway. Kvoth getting free upgrades at the same time in the armory, but his gold control is nowhere. It's actually Nullus that's completely knocking him off. And it's getting worse because these villagers are about to enter crossfire between all these Toxotes. Okay, they get away. And Nullus keeps focusing on this. Both players are gonna use Restoration. So basically nothing dies for a while. Cavalry are definitely the superior unit here. Heavy Toxotes against medium Toxotes as well, despite these armory line upgrades. It's relatively even still for the moment. The cavalry make sure that it's so. I'm not really sure that Nullus has anything that he still needs to do other than just sticking around here. Enjoying his 4 to 2 TC advantage. These are also 45 TC, so we're talking about 180 population versus 130. And Kvoth can't really keep that up. Several villagers are getting picked off, 80 villagers and 11 caravans versus just 71 villagers, no caravans. I like the addition of the Helipolis that will tank a lot of fire if shot. But Nullus just does the next best thing, he gets the cavalry right on top. And that would be an expensive loss for Kvoth if it's lost indeed. Still no mythic age for Nullus, he's very happy with his heroic age for the moment, his caravans are well underway. But he can't seem to max out very easily. More production will be needed for that. And seemingly it's not quite all buildings working just yet. But maybe he doesn't want that. Maybe he's more interested in making sure that those caravans keep popping up. So that he can keep growing that economy. After all, there's a lot of upgrades still left to do. These guys don't even have heavy shield upgrades, right? It's just the copper line still being worked on. And that kind of indicates to me that he's doing those upgrades right now, rather than aging up, is that he wants Artemis and finish the game with an Earthquake. Not so interested in the advantages of Hephaestus with the discounts and whatnot. The upgrades at home must be in a pretty good spot. I've seen all these pop up throughout. So we got Carpenters and Quarry and Irrigation. It's looking pretty good. Meanwhile, Kvoth does not have Irrigation. He doesn't even have Shaft Mines. Ay ay ay. Hippicons on the gold mine. Nullus is on the case. In every location, it's Plenty Vault that really gives Kvoth some amount of survivability, but it's not much. Scorpion Lost stopping by with 200 bits. Thank you so much, buddy. Much appreciate the support. Alrighty. What else is left? Well, the Artemis click has happened, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to transition into military academies, simply because the hoplites are a better ball of stats than the Hippicons are. But against Toxotes, I'm not sure I completely agree. There's a good amount of pierce armor here that the hoplites wouldn't have. And the Hippicons get a small bonus as well against archers. So maybe that is valuable. I also disagree with the Prodromos, to be honest, but hey, It is what it is. It's just a little unnecessary, you know? They're good against the Helepolis, but they're also not good against the Helepolis because they have only 18% pierce armor and these Toxotes will shred them. More biddies from Scorpion Laws, 300. Thanks. This push from Kvoth is all smoke and mirrors, ladies and gentlemen. It's looking threatening. It's really not. All that Nullus needs is just finish his advancing, make sure the Toxotes are targeting Toxotes. Like I said, there's armory upgrade differences, but we're talking about heavy versus medium, so it doesn't really matter. And you can already see the heavy Toxotes and the numbers winning out. Almost 180 population now for Nullus. He did not end up making the hoplites. Good for him. He shouldn't. Like what he's doing there. The Toxotes are slowly picking up that Helepolis. Shade's also helping out. Finally, it's gone, but there's another one. So the way to deal with that is going to be Helepolis off his own, but I do think that we should expect now an earthquake soon. It's going to be used on the fortress. No, not quite. Try to use it at the edge of this TC, but it's just a little bit too far away from everything. Okay, the fortress does get taken down, but the TC does stay up. So what I would suggest at this point is to add in just a few Gastrophiles. And now that the heavy Toxotes are done for Kvoth, despite the population disadvantage, he's got much better upgrades. He's got Iron Line done. Meanwhile, our other Hades player, Nullus, only is on Copper Line. This is gonna take a while to take care of, but the numbers are there. The population is there. The Chimera is helping. Stream of Fire being OP as usual. 2 Chimeras are better than 1 as well. Oh boy. Give me Gastrophiles. Give it to me. He's not doing it. Swear to God, man. Those Gastrophiles are good. Just 2 of them out here. They can hit the TC without being hit back. You guard them with your Mass Toxotes. Chimera finding another gold raid. Oh. Well, that's gonna go on the Hippicon. Still kills it. No worries. And the villagers are next. Hoplites getting added in. They're medium for the moment. Fortified TC is finally in for Kvoth, which will help him survive a little bit. Divine Blood coming in now from Nullus. That will allow him to build real fast. I'm pretty sure he attempted a fortress up there, but didn't work out. Nice, Helepolis is going to take some time to tear this down. Meanwhile, the ninja villagers are still mining the gold. And Kvoth resigns. That's 1-0 for Nullus in this one. Well, nothing too crazy happening. Greek mirrors are pretty boomy, as you guys all know. So, lots of Toxotes. Bunch of Hippicons, and whoever builds more is usually better off. Just gotta grab those TCs, gotta get the villager number advantages like Nullus did. Oh my god. That's a nice advantage right there. Total resources total will be heavily in his favor as well. 10,000 more resources gathered throughout this game. Welcome to game 2. We are on Mediterranean and Kvoth will be playing as, oh, the different color than what I'm showing. We'll switch that in a moment, but we got both players playing essentially as Kronos. I just showed the wrong nameplates. We'll fix that. There we go. Alright, so Kronos Mirror on Mediterranean. It's something that people do a lot these days. We get a lot of these Kronos Mirrors, even though very oftentimes Greek players will be beating Kronoses. I suppose it's a little bit easier here, and you can use your Greek later, especially for someone like Nullus, who just burned his best god on the first game. Well, he didn't burn it, he won, right? So that's fine. Need a player getting to deconstruct before the third ships are out, apparently. Nullus actually not making the third ship, whereas Kvoth went for it. And what is going on? He housed? That's what I just saw. No, it didn't update because I swapped to a player's view. Sorry. And now it's gone again. Okay, there we go. Now the population is showing the correct numbers. That was weird. It just stopped updating. I'm like, there's clearly a manner there. The deconstructs are coming through. At least one of them did on Nullus's dock, but he swiftly rebuilt it. Nullus, I think he didn't use it yet, did he? No, he still got it. This oracle turned around for whatever reason. Just looking for more pigs, I suppose, but he's going right around the edge where he already went. Anyway, this guy will find it. It was a long way around for him, going around these edges. Finally finds the dock though, and oh, Kvoth actually garrisons in there, so he's stuck. You can't exit while the deconstruct is happening, but then you get ejected anyway. All good. It looks like Kvoth is ready to advance. A little bit of idle time on the TC, but he's got the 6 villagers, right? Yeah. It's all good. As for Nullus, he's also clicked up. Just a few seconds later, no big deal. And we should be seeing nothing but a double bireme production for a long time. Maybe with a little bit of time shift action, but nobody actually has line of sight on the other guy's base. So it seems like they're both opting to play more defensively with those oracles. Which means you can save the Valor actually for later. Neither is on the attacking side. You just use the Valor on better units than oracles, such as Murmillo. And should be in a pretty good spot with that. Meanwhile, you just double pump your biremes from your docks and all is well. So Prometheus is through. Quick check on our relics. We got the Girdle of Hippolyta for more Arcus hit points, as well as the Nose of the Sphinx for more building hit points. Which is pretty nice to have. Probably doesn't play a big role in this. Your bireme count is the primary indicator of how well you're doing. Looks like Valor was used on the oracles here. Both sides. Guess they want a hero villager too. Bear in mind that does take more population space. So the manor needs to be made a little bit sooner with that. And it's going to be a perfectly mirrored, perfectly even number of ships for a long time. Until really heavy fighting begins. Kvoth has a few seconds of an advantage. So he might be able to take a fight immediately after his ships pop. If Nullus over micros, he will take a lot of shots on his way where he retreats. Neither player really wants to commit. The numbers are just a little bit too close. We got 9 here, we got 9 there. And we are manored. Oh boy. Well, Nullus is gonna jump ahead very quickly here. Should be 11 to 9 in a moment. He stopped making ships. Kvoth did not. So 11 biremes to 10. Now 11. It's all about the pullback micro, ladies and gentlemen. You just have to pick out that one ship that's getting targeted, put it in the back, make sure the other guy follows you around rather than shooting while you shoot yourself. And that way your RB will be just delivering more DPS. Keeping a unit alive just means that you can have it fight later. But when the numbers are this big, it's very difficult to actually pull back a ship successfully. And many people will be over microing, which means you select like 4 ships rather than 1. And taking their DPS out is arguably worse than just losing 1 ship. So much repositioning going on, but nobody's docks are actually helping. And another very big challenge in these fights is to actually figure out how many ships your opponent has. Very difficult to get a clean selection off where you only select your opponent's ships and not your own. Now, I can't even tell really how many they have. I have to constantly keep selecting. 17 right now for Kvoth. I think Nullus has less. 12 plus... 17 to 17, extra even game the whole way around. A little bit of an Oracle action happening on the other side, but there's gonna be Oracles to defend as well. Deconstruct is used and isolated ships are getting punished here. It's a great move by Kvoth. His superior counts have gotten to take out a lot of ships here. Nullus has the better concave, but it's not that meaningful as these ships are super fast and very easily repositioned. 11 ships to 10. Actually, Nullus is starting to cut ahead, but his health on these ships is abysmal. The Oracles are getting met with Oracles as well. I think Kvoth is now happy to completely retreat and take a more favorable fight on his own turf. See if he can pick off the Oracles as well. Nope, can't. Lost his own. Nullus starting to do some damage there and maybe can get the gold mining villagers as well eventually. Perfectly even population count. Bonkers, dude. Let's see if we got any economic upgrades. There's a little action going on by the gold mine as I said, but nothing too crazy. Extra stuff has been made. No upgrades whatsoever for Kvoth or Nullus. Not even per scene. So I guess the only mission here is to max out on the water and for somebody to win. But so far the game is just so even. These guys not being able to out-micro each other that it doesn't really matter. Somebody has 14 ships. I think Nullus is starting to struggle a little. His ship health just not looking as good. But he keeps shooting here, so he just fixed it with that double kill over there. Oh my god, going too deep, going in too deep. Once again, has to run away. This is a back and forth. Maybe somebody just needs to take a TC. The docks will be protecting the ships anyhow to some degree. 19 ships for... Oh, Kvoth has 22 ships to 19? Okay, okay. This could be the moment. A lot of these are very weak. So if Nullus micros well, he can do a ton of damage, but his ships are also not in a great shape. I don't see that much overkill happening from either side. They're very well spread out ships. And it kind of looks to me like it's staying even just because the reinforcement distance for the defensive player is a little better. So you get more ships sooner. Even though the other guy had the lead, the reinforcements fix it. Plus a few shots from the dock come out. And once again, we're back on Kvoth's side. Only 12 ships. Versus Nullus is 14, but remember about the reinforcements distances. Nullus losing a ton of ships again. Overstaying is welcome in my opinion. That's just a bunch of ships he has. 13 to 14. Okay, never mind. I'm completely wrong. It's so hard to count. As I said, these players are struggling with it too all the time. Which is why they retreat maybe more frequently than they need to. Taking a lot of shots on the way out every time. Man, they're getting time shifted as the oracles are bullying and the entire forest has been gobbled up. There's not much happening behind this. Like, there's no one making a military academy. It's just a ship action, man. $14 to $12, but triple production will fix this very quickly. Kvoth actually falling behind in population a little bit, now losing a lot of ships as he's retreating. Can Nullus finally start capitalizing now that he's up by 10 population? That's like 5 ships as an advantage. But I guess some of that has to manifest itself in the oracles, which are now going after the gold miners. These two will have to be turned into heroes to protect. Meanwhile, the fight on the water continues. The docks not contributing really. Well, this one is. Not the bottom one. There's nothing garrisoned in there. And the ships of Nullus are starting to get there in terms of numbers. But then they start shooting at fishing ships. And that's not a fighting ship target. So the fighting ships stay alive and shoot back at them. Once again, equalizing the situation. Nullus has to pull away the oracles as these guys end up defending the gold miners. And once again, the population count is much closer. The walling idea is not too bad. Such a close game. Do you guys like Mediterranean? I'm not sure if I do. It's very hard to decide. I actually can't count the ships now because the numbers are too big. When I select both players, I still have a 30 selection limit, so... Okay, 11 here. 18 for Nullus. Okay, he's finally starting to get ahead, so... Kvoth will have to make some kind of decision here. Do I keep doing this? Do I keep throwing resources at 4 fishing ships, which are not even gathering? Or do I take a TC? Oh my god! 6 oracles showed up. That's gonna be a problem for these villagers, man. Okay, several of them are super weak, so the kitchen knives are hitting them hard. And there's a surviving oracle too. Crazy. Kvoth decides that he keeps fighting. Don't wanna lose the fish, but meanwhile, Nullus' 7 fishing ships have been gathering happily. These guys aren't doing anything, man. Nothing at all. 4 fishing ships in the docks. No activity. No sign of life. Kvoth ships are just not that high in number right now. That's gonna be a trouble here. Without the support of the docks. Sure, there's a reinforcement distance, but the remaining ships are getting torn asunder. There's no way that he can bring this back now without hiding in the docks again. And Nullus is just greatly enjoying the resources that he gets out of the water, which is a little bit better than what Kvoth is getting, but for whatever reason, Nullus is behind by 1 villager. Which I don't know how it happened, but it did. Maybe there's not that big of a difference between these two players, economically speaking, but the military right now, this is a lot of ships. Of course, Kvoth has to fix this with the garrison thing, hide how many ships he has, force Nullus to maybe stop producing for a second, And he's instantly moving on to making fishing ships rather than more military ships. This is perhaps Kvoth's chance for a comeback. If you can pop out with like 10 ships or more, as these docks are slowly taken down by reams. This could be his moment. He's shooting down the weak ones first, so good micro there. There's some in the back that are also quite weak. This one, with 32 health, definitely a good target. And there's only 13 of those. He's got 14 of his own, which are full health, so time to go, I think, Kvoth. We're gonna get a second TC. Maybe not, but we're eating up all the wood, that's for sure. Meanwhile, Nullus, yeah, he's getting the TCs. So he's staying ahead by getting ahead, even if he loses the water now. And he can still make ships, don't forget, he can restart that ship production business. He's gonna have 3 TCs to show for it, a higher population limit, whereas Kvoth is stuck. So, yeah, granted a lot of these ships are dying. And all of Kvoth's ships are full health. He can definitely retake the water. But TCs, that's a little bit tougher. He's got the resources for it. He could also go heroic for whatever good that will do. And he's clicking. I would like very much to see him grab a TC. He's right there. You're right there, Kvoth. Take a TC. Oh no. Well, Nullus is now the one that is doing the water comeback mechanic. And he's also gonna chill out here on the TC. That looks like a villager to eat as a snack. Looks like it will get away though from the Murmillo. Oh my god, the surround of the Murmillo! They made it happen! Best thing you can do at this point is to trade the citizen into the Cairo Ballista. Nullus should pull that back. It's fast enough to escape, but I guess he's just gonna face tank it, no worries. It worked out. He's even guarding this TC. Man, this is bonkers. Nullus is just gonna max out once again. He's got 9 fishing ships, but they are in the docks. So retaking that sooner would be nice. Just chaosed a bunch of Nullus's units here. And Nullus remains firmly in the classical age for now. What can Kvoth do at this point? I'm not super sure. It looks like he's saving up to Mythic, which he has the gold mines for. Fair enough. But what are you gonna do? You can go through Helios, get a Vortex in with like maybe 2 Hacker Giants and slap the TCs one after the other, but you think Nullus isn't gonna think of that? Think again. That's exactly what's gonna happen though. We even got a Nereid. She's not particularly good at fighting against ships, as you can see. She's like an anti-myth unit specialist. Absolutely garbage at the naval fight. But if there's like some other water myth unit, then she'll do great. Yeah, it's like plus 600% I think against myth units. Better than most heroes, considering her high base damage. Well, we're also gonna get another water myth unit. It's gonna be the Man of War, which is extremely underwhelming actually. But I'm ready for it. Oh, there's nothing to fight for the Man of War. Oh no. Please give us something to fight. Please let him reach Mythic and give him something to fight on the water with the lightnings. No, Nullus. Think about the viewers. Nah, he's just gonna destroy him on land. This is not even close. Nullus has such a huge advantage right now. This is the only gold mine that's left to Kvoth here. The Terma are gonna look for some kind of scout, I assume. Maybe it's gonna be just the ships. All he needs is a time shift. Sorry, not time shift. Vortex here with the Hacker Giant. Slap that TC. It's the only play left to Kvoth right now. Where is the Man of War? I think it's been deleted. That's very sad. Can I get an F in the chat, please? Thank you. Very sad. Hacker Giant should be able to claw his way through this entirety of the side build. So that's nice. Nullus himself going Hyperion. Oh, it's not deleted. It's not deleted. It's just camouflaged. Blue against blue on the water. It killed a bird. A random bird. And now the fishing ships are the next target. This thing doesn't exactly have a lot of range. Only 8. Even the Bireams have more range. So, a little sad. But it does some good damage. 25 hack damage per strike is not too bad. The Murmillo are pretending to be Zeus hoplites. Eventually they'll take this TC down, granted. This is just being slowed down a little bit by the Oracle. It's not got enough DPS to stop this. We've got a little vortex with 3 of the Hacker Giants, but immediately Nullus uses the Chaos God power to turn half that vortex into enemies or neutrals. And now the Hacker Giants are slowly getting taken down. Sure, they'll get the TC, but then you've lost 3 Hacker Giants, 3 Destroyers, and a Satyr. Essentially for free. It's not a problem for him to rebuild this at all, and he's all over Kvoth's gold mine. Sure, more Hacker Giants will be made, and it's only a 1-minute cooldown for Vortex, so I assume this will be attempted again. Got Siege Bireams. It looks like the Man of War is gone. Whatever happened to it? Feels like an AOM, you rather have more TCs than earlier Age of Timing, says Batuhan. I 100% agree. The TCs are just usually more meaningful. There are some exceptions where, let's say, you're going up Artemis or Horus, and you can take away a TC of the opponent, then, you know, that's a big deal. Those Destroyers are still going, man. Good job destroying that TC though, but I'm afraid Nullus is already back to 3, and that was his 4th TC that you just destroyed, so no advantage has been obtained. In fact, citizens are being killed by the gold mine still. Fnatic will absolutely slap the Murmillo, however, so that's nice. As for Nullus, what he needs right now is some kind of way to kill buildings. He doesn't have anything to kill buildings with, and it's a problem. All these fishing ships are currently idle. Could definitely go back to work with those, as there's just very little out here to deal with. And you know what? The 3rd vortex of Kvoth could actually do something here, but probably not. Let's be real here. Nullus is pushing up at the palace. 12 Arcus and Murmillo. The main TC probably not particularly safe at this point. Destroyers are going to be the name of the game. And there's a wall piece here that Kvoth could see with, so the 2 Hacker Giants definitely more than enough to take out the TC. No worries about that. You know, the temple gets destroyed. Injecting the relic, and that's enough army to destroy the TC. Trading this away is okay. Citizens can capture this. Oh, what happened here? No one's repairing, so it's all good. Kvoth still destroys this. The Murmillo hero earlier would have been nice to have. But now an Arcus and Murmillo Suicide once again into the gold mine location. This gold mine won't last much longer, by the way, for Kvoth. It's almost over. Mass repair going down, but the citizens get exposed in the process and taken down. Kvoth has 24, which is a good enough number for 2 TCs, but I mean, he actually does want More of everything, more TCs, more villagers, more resources, more map control. You can't have it all. Not when Nullus isn't letting you. Palace seemingly getting taken down, but I think the repair might just be enough to allow that Murmillo to also kill the Heka Giant in time. Health is going down rather rapidly. The palace won't make it though, just about. Would have taken one more hero to save it. Well, Nullus just continues retaking this. It's gonna take a moment. Siege ship going after the fishing ships now. That's a pretty good amount of damage when it hits. And we've got a fire ship. Which is gonna counter this, but there's a problem. If the siege barrier moves, it can't get hit by the fire ship actually. None of the hammer ships have this problem, so they need a track rating adjustment, which they don't have. 3.5, that's not gonna work on the Navy. Fnatic are here to clean up any and all destroyers. Oh my god, what just happened? That's a lot of donkeys dying. I guess all these villagers were weak from earlier. They're gonna bite the dust. Okay, can Nullus please make some siege? Atlas is coming through. So at some point we'll see an implosion, not. As Kvoth just resigns, Nullus takes a second game. Score is now 2-0. Not much that Kvoth could have done after losing the water and not claiming town centers if you at least are ahead in the town center game. Like if you sacrifice your access to water in order to get the faster town centers, then great. But Nullus just outgathered him significantly by more than 10,000 resources, so you can't really keep up with that. Not at this level. Game 3, and it could be the last in this series. Kvoth is currently down 0-2. That is not a situation you want to be in these high-stress tournaments where you can get knocked out if you take a wrong step. He's going with Ra. His opponent on the other side of the map in the red color will be Nullus playing as Odin. So we'll see how that goes. It's usually a good map for Ra here on Oasis because there's not that much hunt available. A little bit of scouting has been done. The second gold mine is extremely easy. And there's a good patch of giraffes also available, which then Ra will use for the classical age advance. And then probably transition into farms. That's usually what we see, at least with the second TC. As for Nullus, he can always just use Great Hunt and significantly grow his zebra patch, which he's done. He's also involved his goats in the action and gotten several goats out of this already, up to 8. Opting for a double Orsark. Well, an additional Orsark, he's got the scripting at the beginning, right? But he's looking around the map now, trying to find goats. Not so easy to do for Ra. We would have to either give up the priest or the Pharaoh's empowerment. And usually Ra players are like, yeah, you know what, the resources are actually better to just take directly than to rely on goats for a long time. Instead, he will make farms and then rain on them, which increases the gather rate so much that it actually pays off. And we should probably enable this interface, make life a little bit better. And one relic thus far is going to be Eye of Ornlu. It's a little bit of damage for Axeman and throwing Axeman. And we're housed as Kvoth. Oof. Again, like I said, high stress tournament, right? So this kind of stuff will happen. There's not much you can do about it. Temple's gonna be placed. It's not a very exposed gold mine. The towers are relatively protective of it. It's easy enough to make a wall. One house, one temple, another house. House will guard. No worries. The villager's already going to go to the next granary. It takes a long amount of time, so you gotta send the villager a little bit sooner than the other guys. Otherwise, you're spending a lot of time just building the granary. It's the double forest type of oasis. It's a big one, but not as big as 4 forests would be. That kind of oasis is just huge. It's huge. got forward town centers. So it's very likely we'll see a push kind of situation between these two. But of course, our Odin player could be surprising us with a little bit of Njord action and heavily pushing in the mid game for a victory. Not that I actually predict that would happen. It's super unlikely on Oasis because there's just not much food to go around. I think it's more of a raid a lot, get a Ragnarok kind of situation that we should be expecting. But you never know, my predictions have been off this tournament a lot. More so than normal. People aren't playing standard as much as they usually do. Which, I mean, I enjoy people experimenting, don't get me wrong. Just a little strange sometimes. Even the temple's getting walled off. Kvoth is paranoid about this early game. He really fears that he will lose the temple. I don't know who's the one to actually build these walls. He's placed them, but no one's making them. Okay, sending out the villager. Take care of the tower first, then the temple. Maybe he's getting rid of it. Yeah, he changes his mind. He agrees that that's paranoia. It's not necessary. Almost all the giraffes have been eaten up. Freya's almost done. I still think there's more than enough space here to get the last giraffe. You don't need to go home. But what Kvoth actually wants is the front TC. Interesting. Same thing for our Norse guy. What's this other relic again? The fetters of Fenrir for instant kills on these light animals, which, well, nobody really cares about. There's barely any left. Insta-kill the lion? I guess. You're not gonna waste Pharaoh time on that. So, no impact left in this game. I like that Wedge is sniping the sheep. Sorry, the goat. That was absolutely worth it, because Nullus would have taken that home, no question. Also, the Valkyrie is very capable of actually killing the snack. With the Pharaoh helping out, don't think so, but by itself, absolutely. And we're gonna have the farms getting put down immediately. Securing the TC, obviously more important than a little bit of food left behind. Because the Norse player would have been all over that thing in like a minute and a half, right? You don't want to risk that. Don't have any access to the TC anymore. Is Nullus gonna go for a free TC boom? I could totally see the guy doing it. But he certainly isn't gonna benefit from the rain. What is this? That's a very small rain, dude. You only have 9 farms, man. What is going on? Usually people go for like 14 farms. Well, not always. Sometimes you see 12, but 9 is a very small number. Okay, there we go. 11. 13. That's good. That's good. We're getting there. Alright. Kvoth fixes it. He's got some weird placement things here, but oh well. Sakuya loves the music in the background. It's just the AOM soundtrack. I'm not doing anything special. Well, I hand selected the quiet themes of the AOM soundtrack because like the God Powers blasting music, probably not right for what's happening on screen usually. But hope you guys enjoy it. Anyway. Tons of goats. Husbandry is in, so these are fattening. Nullus also has pickaxe. As for the Egyptian villagers, they have plow, they have pickaxe. Also husbandry to make them move less between the farms. But their animations themselves involve them moving around a lot, so. Definitely has diminished returns on farming. CC also sort of secures a second gold mine. Nullus, however, just walling the entire map really. He doesn't want anything to go unseen. What this will accomplish is that the rock will be spotted, there's no question about that. Except if the rock goes through the middle of these forests, in which case nothing can see it. I assume there's gonna be a rock, yeah, halfway. we're all good. Nullus also gonna go 2 TC fast heroic here. With Scotty. Everything's as expected, so this game should be a little bit more meta-like. This is what everybody does. Strange that Nullus would get the wall off here. That's a little unattentive of Kvoth, to say the least. You typically speaking want to secure that third TC, but it can wait a little bit, so you can go there later, it's fine. Adding the Migdol here is nice. Just flying over the walls, at least Nullus knows exactly where it is. Nothing can hit this thing at the moment. Maybe he'll find a good locust. There are 9 dwarves here. Bear in mind though, the dwarves are tankier than the other villagers by 10 hit points. And we've got a pre-split from Nullus, where he doesn't want to get hit. And he's instead spreading out the villagers as much as possible. Relic's picked up. Oh, that's a snipe. Nice. Good job with the bazookas. As for a locust, I don't think there's a good location for it. Like, you don't want to use it on 9 villagers. 9 actually would be sick if he gets that. There's a bunch of dwarves in here. The gatherers are the main target, so that's where you should cast. No pre-split from Nullus, no defensive units nearby. This is the way. Hitting the dwarf as well. Are we gonna do it? No, we got a bunch of cavalry, which might lock the units down. Almost gets the dwarf kill, but stays alive with just 1 health. It's a whole lot of camels, man. Great pickup micro with the bazookas. Roshan can't do anything about it. He'll need some throwing axemen with the Axe of Muspel upgrade, which they have. And they have increased attacks from the relic as well. Rock is actually in major trouble. Vubli nerfed the hack armor to just 10% and speed to 4, so the throwing axemen can actually hit this thing. Camel should be able to find this. No locust use still. The rock is about to die. It's really now or never, or at least has to be very soon. This has got now 10 villagers on it. It's time for the locust. You're not gonna get a better one. You can get more villagers later, but is it better? Not really, no. There's gonna be 3 TCs and the Odin is gonna be in your face with the Ragnarok. Horus is getting researched. The rock is just about getting away. Like I said, the 4 speed does allow the medium throwing axes to hit them, even at full range. Now here come the camels. They might get on top of this group here. Now 12. But the locust needs to happen soon, man. Tornado behind is also looking pretty good. Okay, it's time. Where's the locust, man? Now or never. Here it comes. They're so clumped up. Several villagers going down. That's at least 5, 6 kills. Turn into 7, 8. 9 kills. He couldn't have asked for a better situation here. Almost everyone's dead. That's actually 11 kills total. I counted wrong. Wow. Very nicely done by Kvoth. And now you can have 2 groups of cavalry running around with Horus coming in at just around 13 minutes. This is very clean. Would be beneficial to see these getting a heavy cavalry upgrade. The TC will be denied and 1 cavalry will be sacrificed to go to the main TC. They will also snag a bunch of these villagers for sure. They immediately get sucked into the NATO and the TC is probably next to drop. The temple will share some damage but easily fall as well. And Yeah. The TC definitely gonna go down to the NATO. Kvoth actually looking pretty good in this game. I think he has a chance. Nullus, very far away from Mythic right now, and he's gonna have to deal with an Avenger. The Shifting Sands, there's villagers here. What is the plan? Oh, the split against the Frost is actually pretty good, but all the 15 villagers getting frozen is not really acceptable. Granted, the TC will be denied, and then this main TC, no one's building that. Definitely a huge issue, but there's enough infantry going around for Nullus to rebuild that thing. Forest Fire is going to be used, and that's hitting these villagers full force. Each tick of that actually hurting the villagers despite this heavy armor. It's going through, man. It's going through. And it's looking for real damage, not armor. Not accounting for the armor. So the villagers are actually heavily damaged now. The throwing axe from picking off several others. Only 9 are left. This used to be 15. Now 8. The Avenger doing a good job here against the Jarl. Again, they are unupgraded, so they can't really take that massive DPS from this boy. 28 DPS. Plus the spin to win attacks actually contributing massively as well. The laborers are gonna have to make a run for it and get back home. In fact, they're gonna be the ones that get picked off. The whole Locust has backfired apparently. Shifting Sands is like locusting your own villagers, turns out, if you're Kvoth in this situation. Yikes. That hurt a lot, man. That hurt a lot. And now these heavy infantry units are getting across the map, are Odin rebuilding the main with just a minimal contribution. Don't need to commit a lot of forces to that. The camels will be trying to fight against the Huskar and Ovsar composition. The Huskar are a doable target. They don't have much heck armor at all, right? But the camels also don't. So they kind of slap each other in the face there. Alright, our Ra player now taking over this back TC. Trying to push with the catapults. If there was a rock with this, that would be absolutely sick. 4 catapults is like kind of a magic number where you can very easily micro them too. Against infantry units and cavalry that would hit them. Where is the rock, dude? There it is. It's a little late. Oh, we're auto-queuing the rocks! Yikes. I think all the catapults are gonna die. This rock is too late, too slow. Oh, the Ulfsarks got turned around. Oh my god. You know, if I'm Nullus, you gotta do the math in your heads, guys. Taking out 4 catapults, 400 resources, 1600 resources. Are you gonna sacrifice 9 Ulfsarks for that? Well, if not, then you should really reconsider. That's a lot of economy right there. I guess he can get both though, because Kvoth is sticking around, loses the rock, and still exposes all these catapults to the infantry attacks. Only picks up 3. Gets hit a lot on the way out by the throwing axes. Sadly, some of them are distracted by the chariots, but still Nullus has a good pushing army now. He can maybe attack one of the more exposed TCs, which is either the main. Probably not this, there's a Migdal stronghold here. Kvoth looping around the forest, however, now putting down these catapults. There's no TC here, that's destroyed. So with Nullus being on just 1 TC, oh my god, he flies over the fortress. The rock might go down to just the fortress, dude. Oh my god, 80 health. That was close. Sweating. Back TC should be denied. Oh. Oh my god, he loses the catapult to the TC, no way! TC might actually kill the rock if Kvoth is not careful. Holy crap, there's 2 throwing axemen. It goes down, and with that the catapults too, they cannot kill the town center before they get taken down themselves. It's gonna be close, but not that close. Still gonna have just over 800 health on this thing. Yeah, 960, that's very comfortable right there. Wow. Big mistakes flying over those buildings, man. That kind of stuff does not go unpunished. The rock is pretty slow these days, so You have to actually really carefully micro it and plan your path. He just lost 2 rocks, man. That's a lot. And they were both full of catapults. That's really unacceptable. He's got 80 villagers though against the 56 of Nullus. So the only thing Nullus has on Kvoth right now is this army. Rebuilding his TCs, he's back to 3 TCs as well, so he's gonna be able to slowly catch up in terms of the total villager count. But meanwhile, Kvoth has the time to upgrade his own units, get those medium and heavy axemen out, get more Avengers. The Avengers' main job here, in my opinion, should be to distract the throwing axemen. Get behind them, move it left and right, hell, even patrol it if you want to get really fancy, and then get the throwing axemen to miss their shots. That's really the way to do it. And if they start to retarget, then crash into them, start taking them down with the spin to win attacks, build up your Avenger numbers, and just keep rinsing and repeating that. It's the way to go. And the Oathstarks are looking for further targets, and Nullus is very nicely set up, I have to say. In terms of upgrades, he doesn't have much, he just has heavy infantry, and that's it. Getting medium cavalry behind this so that he can diversify his army somewhat. And bear in mind that Nullus doesn't stop at 80 villagers, you can make dwarfs as well, so you can go well beyond that. A market is of course a nice sight. Once again, a catapult rock drop will be attempted by Kvoth, but there's no rock yet. I'm sure it's coming later, but meanwhile his entire army has been brutalized by the throwing axemen and Oathstarks. It's also not something he can afford, and if he loses this game he's out of the tournament, so the pressure is really on Nullus not letting up, even though he has had a disadvantage at least in the economy and TCs for a little while. I'm also pretty sure he doesn't have 45 TCs, yeah. So in that sense, it's not like Nullus is without any stresses, but he's fairly confident in this case. He's gonna cut down the entire oasis. He don't care. Okay, we got the cavalry mercenaries. I don't think they have Medjay yet, and they're probably not going to for a long time. Kvoth, in fact, doesn't have a trade. Where is the trade, dude? Uh-oh. That could be trouble. Siege works getting made on top of this gold location, and that's also where the market is, so could be a little bit threatening. Chariots and axemen are a good answer to all this infantry, but then the frost giant comes around and suddenly it's not looking so hot anymore. Oh my god! 3 catapults going down! Oh, that is 1200 resources. Holy yikes, man. You really gotta take care of those. I think Kvoth must have lost 7 or 8 catapults this game. That is a lot in this early stage of Mythic. Really can't afford that kind of stuff. What kind of upgrades are we looking at for the villagers? It's looking okay, but we're still on hand axe. That should probably be carpenters by now. And the lack of that is going to mean that losing the catapults is just really unacceptable tiers of damage. And Nullus seems to be capitalizing on this. He's now past the villager count of Kvoth, so he's officially got a better economy, even if the upgrades aren't quite there yet, which they're not, granted, but they are Norse villagers, they are dwarves on gold mines, they gather much faster. And it's not like the priests are empowering. There's 1 priest empowering, that's it. Alright, this is looking like a decent push. Something that Nullus has to respect. He's also got, however, 45 TC. He's got a really good economy behind this. And as long as he can deal with the catapults, which he has the raiding cavalry for, as well as frost giants, yeah, he's freezing that thing and it's gone. Sometimes these freezes from the frost giants are heavily delayed, and units get to do like entire animation cycles, maybe even multiple, before the freeze goes through. I have no idea where this bug is coming from, but it really needs fixing in retold. I really hope it's not going to be just working the same way. I've had a game where a mountain giant was bonking my town center with the special. I was freezing it, and the freeze didn't go through all the way until the next big bonk attack actually went through all the way. So in the middle, it was still doing the normal attacks. Like, what the hell? Like 20 seconds of not getting frozen despite the freeze animation happening. Really strange. These catapults, less extreme cases granted, but certainly not game deciding ones, considering that Nullus is holding just fine. Okay, the TC is getting damaged, but he's got this catapult killed. More than enough Norse units here. The throwing axeman will take down the catapult. Again, that is another 2 catapult kills. So the catapult death count is now around 10. And climbing. Not in the right direction. Nullus is on 100 villagers. Ladies and gentlemen, 120 is the Norse limit. Norse plus gatherers. That's gonna make for a big Ragnarok, guaranteed. Something that does need to happen though is to take down the catapults one after the other. If they just keep coming like this and eventually they whittle down the TC's health to 0, that's also really not acceptable. The throwing axes are not really the counter to either heavy cavalry or chariots or catapults, so they're only really working against the axemen. Gonna need some cavalry in here, maybe Jarls, to actually get this done. Good pick off on the Pharaoh. And here's the dwarves. Of course they are here. Nullus, man. What is happening? His trade is under threat. This trade is looking pretty good by Kvoth. And his trade has been established at 88 now. The priest jumping on top of the market. That empowerment is extremely important, makes Egyptian basically the best civilization for trade. Priests, I believe, give 15% on the empowerment drop-off. Is that right? Yes, 15%. Pharaoh gives 20. Ra Pharaoh gives 24. So you could put that guy on the trade once you have a good number of caravans. Definitely not at 11, but let's say go up to 20. And you put the Pharaoh on 24% extra. That's not bad. Alright, looks like Nullus is starting to have this under control. He's going a bother. Even if he loses this position, he can just keep staying maxed out. Rely on whatever this is. Considering that his trade is kind of gone. A market should be remade somewhere. Even if you just trade from like up here to the main, it's good enough, you know. It's better than nothing. I guess he's going to trade from here to here. That's good, that's good. The dwarves are starting to die a little bit, so what I would recommend Nullus to do is to just eat the trees. It's fine. Gotta keep some units alive. And he's getting watchtower and copper weapons, it's all good. He's got 11 caravans, that's more than enough to gather while his Ragnarok is going on and absolutely demolishing things. There's a bunch of towers here, however, for Kvoth. They're not guard or ballista towers, and there's no walling, there's no barracks nearby, so the infantry will have a little bit of walking time to this. Be very nice to have a stone wall up here, man. Bronze shields is getting researched. Nullus will hit so freaking hard. He's got 103 villagers right now, plus dwarves. I like the pick of sun-dried mud brick as well as masons. That will help significantly here, but Ragnarok is in. And I'm pretty sure Nullus will waste absolutely no time to get this going. He's got a double armory as well, despite him being Odin and stuff. Just because he has the resources, he can go for it. Bronze shields and bronze weapons about to be done. The 11 caravans will happily gather away. And I think a market has been destroyed somehow. I actually didn't see what happened there. Did he destroy that manually by accident, maybe? I don't know, dude. Already a 77 favor, by the way. So one thing that's very important to do here is to place down an extra temple right here. And just carry on making fire giants from it. If you have the resources, keep queuing them up. So, because your favor will go absolutely bonkers during the Ragnarok. It's 87 already. And that might be a little bit too many Ragnarok heroes in one place. The pathfinding system breaks when you put all your Ragnarok heroes in one place. So what's really important to do, more so than the favorite trick I just mentioned, that's actually not that important. What's really important is you split up your Ragnarok into multiple locations. It's not only going to make sure that you control all the map and gold mines and whatnot, but your Ragnarok heroes are actually useless here, just running around between each other, not really getting to attack. Oh, that was a really nice special attack by the Fire Giant, by the way, weakening all of these chariots. Meanwhile, the Rag heroes and Huskar can jump on top, as well as going after the TC. 4200 health. That thing needs a little bit of empowered repair, if you ask me. I like that the Pharaoh is shooting the Fire Giant there, but something needs to empower this. Someone needs to repair this. Kvoth has no resources, however, and both of his DCs are getting destroyed by Ragnarok. That's gonna cut into the trade. The Ragnarok heroes here are finding the villagers on wood. That's an absolute disaster. All TCs are destroyed essentially, except this main one, which we're gonna get back to that later, I think. Nullus is in a commanding lead, and I don't think he's gonna stop. 254 population to 84. Tells a story by itself. I don't need to use my words. And Kvoth has no words left but GG, as Nullus advances to the round of 8. And Kvoth is out for now, but it was great to see him playing in the Wisdom of Thoth tournament. Good job. Even fighting against someone difficult like Nullus, still giving us some decent games here. It's not easy, guys. It's the mistakes look like a lot, but I'm sure Kvoth can both work on it and also get more comfortable against the very top players in Age of Mythology. His time will come. Just keep an eye on him. We want to thank our MetaPlace website subscribers. Your contribution helps us keep the project sustainable. As we reach higher subscription goals, you are helping us cover more and more behind-the-scenes costs, such as video editing. Check out our subscription page using the link in the description, and remember to collect your perks. We will see you the next time.